Hello, I want to ask you guys a few questions. The first one is, what if you guys live in a very strange world? A world where everyone's opinion, judgment, and thoughts are treated as currencies. So, if someone appreciates or compliments your post, if someone puts a like on your post, it's like giving a little coins. Now, my question is, how rich will you be? Will you be a billionaire, or you would be just your average Joe? Now, moving on to the second question, what if no one really appreciates you? No one gives you praises, no one gives you commendations in any sort of way, and yeah, how would you feel? I guess you will be bankrupt, right? As no one is giving you compliments anymore, so you don't have any money. And that, my friend, is a really dangerous mindset. Now, I want to switch on the personal story. I want to be honest with you guys. I am a student, and I often compare myself with other students in a very unfair way, sometimes outrageous. Let's take it as an example. An example of that would be when I got my biology exam, I got 95. That's a pretty good grades, right? But here's the thing. I see my score with someone's opinion, with others' opinion, others' standard, and that should be 100. And then the burden of that standards being unaccomplished is very heavy in my back. Now let's talk it the way that the burden is being a backpack. So I carry my own backpack, right? We all carry our own backpack. But we only need to carry our own backpack, right? So in my case, my backpack is about my grades, my 95 grades. But I did something wrong. And that is, I put someone else's backpack on me. The standards, the 100, the perfect mark. And I keep carrying that burden, those backpacks in my back, and it crushes me. The weight crushes me. And I was getting very exhausted. I feared that if I could not achieve the standards, then I will be disliked by everyone. And that is yet another tons of backpacks on my back. Poor my back. Well, here's a truth bomb. That living like that, living with other people's opinion and judgment is like being a prisoner chained with invisible chains. You feel trapped. But I learned something. A very interesting book told me that it is okay to be disliked. In fact, it is cool, it is encouraged to be disliked. What a very interesting premise, right? And the book is called The Courage to be Disliked. And it talks about Adlerian psychology, a very famous psychologist. So let's talk about one of its main pillars. Adlerian psychology revolves around a pillar that is called by a method that is called by separation of tasks. And let me give you an example of separating tasks. Well, back into my example where I got the 95 grade. My task is to study and to get the mark. But the other people's task is to whether judge my performance as good or not. Whether my score is good or not, that's other people. And that's not me. That's not my task that I should take. And I should not intervene other people. and I should not really just take the burdens all for myself because I don't get anything out of it. Now, I want the audiences to stand up, and can you guys tell me one experience that where you guys had to adapt and apply the methods of separating of task? Anyone?
Me, Rashka.
Yes.
Okay,
You may
thank you,
speak.
Rashka, for the change that has been given to me. And now I would like to tell you about several weeks ago that when I post my short film in my social account. So when posting this video, I have faced two problems over here. The first is about something that I can control and something that I can control. The something I can control is to improving my editing skills and how to respond, how people to respond to my video. And something that I can control is how people respond to me, how they call me to be cringe, how they told me that my editing skill is bad. Maybe it's just that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. That's a really great answer, and that exactly pictures how Adlerian psychology should be applied. And that is a perfect example how we should apply the separating of task methods. You see, in that example, my audiences say that he's posting a video and that his only task is to, well, edit the video and improve his skills. And what is not his task is other people's judgment, so he didn't really take it to himself. And that is really freeing, guys. I assure you that it is really freeing when you can separate your own task. Now, I don't want to leave you guys hanging with questions like how can we be free from other people's tasks, and let me give you some free habits. The 3 habits that could significantly improve your quality of life about separating tasks. And the first thing is, if you guys are overwhelmed by, if you guys cannot really separate whose task is who, then take 30 seconds and just ask to yourself, was this really my task or not? If this is my task, then do it. But if it's not yours, then if it's not mine, then let it go. It doesn't have anything to do with you. And the second thing is to make linings in your, take a piece of paper, a piece of paper and make a lining and separate it, divide it into 2 sections, and one is your task and one is not your task. And you can write it. What is my task and what is not? And as simple as that. And the third habits will be, again, from a combination of these 2 previous habits, and that would be applying it in your everyday life. And you guys really have to learn to say no to other people's tasks. If you guys are given responsibility that really should be yours, then don't accept it. And I would want to leave this, guys, to hang in your mind that courage is not about fighting dragons or any sorts of properly modern depicted of courage, but courage is about living the truth, doing your own tasks, even if it means being disliked. And everyone, thank you.